Good evening, class. My name is Rob Kennedy, and this is week four's video discussion for MIS 605. This week we are required to argue in favor of a thick or a thin client approach to software architecture, explaining the roles of server-side and client-side programming and the load of the network in that case. So let's go ahead and begin. Ideally, it is known that the information systems are mostly all about software. You could say a system is built on computer code. It defines what information should do and what kind of data should be taken as input and how to execute it to be processed with an output which will be meaningful. Before getting into what thick and thin clients are, I'm going to go ahead and explain what client-side and server-side architectures are. So basically, it is a network of which servers act as a host, and its jobs are to provide and regulate most of the resources and services to the clients. In this approach, there can be multiple clients connected to a central server over a network in the architecture. And the models are defined as thick and thin models. Thin models are generally used when a system gets transformed to client-side architecture, acting as a server and implemented with a graphical interface on clients. All application processing along with management and data is carried by the server. Thick models are mostly used for server systems that are more complex as compared to the thin models. When developing mobile software, developers must choose an architecture that fits their requirements that best, hence the software that is very important. So thick and thin clients. Thin clients refer to software commonly and are used in the majority of amount of computers which are designed for serving as the clients and the server-side architectures. As stated, the thin clients approach, most of the computing power is located on the server, and clients provide the only interface. For thick clients are also referred to as heavy clients and full-feature computers, which are connected to the network, and it keeps the significant portion of the computing on the client side. A thick client is having its own storage, unlike thin clients, which have a complete OS. The clients are allowed to implement locally installed applications offline and are very, very useful for using applications like software development. When choosing a better software, thick clients are more preferable as it provides better performance as the application processing is done locally, and it has no barrier of relying on the network, as it works offline, which results in reducing a communication over the wireless or wired networks, conserving bandwidth. And it only reduces server demands, but also requires a lesser number of servers. A thick client performs intensive data processing and is independent and of a networked environment. When we talk about server-side scripting and programming, it means employing scripts on the web server, and it produces and customizes responses for the request initiated by the clients on the website. Um, Referring to the client-side program, which mostly involves user interface, work with which user interacts. It's a browser which is used to run code. Server-side programming is the general name for the programs running directly on the server. So basically, an example of that would be building a website. So building a website, you can develop code and you can write code out in code form, or you can put it on the server. The syntax is a little bit different depending on what it is, but ideally, server-side coding is a lot more secure than client-side coding because you have layers of equipment and processes that you have to go through to actually get to the code. But overall, that's really what thin and thick clients are, and that's what my argument stands for. So, hope you have a good night, and hope you've enjoyed my discussion. Thank you.